I hope the glare is not bad on my glasses from my light, and if it is, I'm so sorry. I might take them off halfway. We'll see what happens. I'm here to talk about Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, one of my favorite anime in the entire world. And not only am I going to be talking about the story, the characters, the cool powers, animation, all that stuff, there's also some really cool like philosophical concepts that I kind of did a little bit of research on, and I want to talk about those too because they're so cool. Okay, first starting off, I know that Fate, like the entire series or franchise, is a lot because there's like 17 million different like Fate titles. I started with Fate Zero, and then I watched Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and I started watching Heaven's Feel, but I never finished it. Me and my friends have tried watching it twice because I think it's like 2 movies, but we never make it through. One day though, one day. So the basic story of Fate is essentially there is this thing called a Holy Grail War where you get this Holy Grail and you get, I think, just power to do whatever you want, right? And so there's about 6 people who are in the war trying to battle for it. Now, with these 6 people, they all get servants, and these servants are like historical figures. There's Hercules, there's Sasaki Kojiro, I hope I said his name correctly. There's, what's his, oh my gosh, Saber. I always forget Saber's character, and I want to say Joan of Arc, but it's not. It's the dude from the Round Table. Oh my gosh, bro. What is his name? I did a video on this already, and I looked up what is his name? What is his name? Let me go look it up, bro. And I was wrong about something very important. So, you don't get power. You get 1 wish if you win the Holy Grail. But from past, like, wars, they've, like, corrupted it in some type of way. So, I don't really know. But anyway, you should watch it and figure it out. And Saber is King Arthur. So now we got all of that out of the way. Let's move on to some other things, like the characters. So, the characters that I really like, we have Archer. We have Emiya. I love Rin. Saber's cool. Lancer's fire. Who else? Oh, why am I forgetting everybody's name? Homeboy with the unlimited amount of Unlimited Blade Works. What is his name? I'll be back. His name is Gilgamesh. As you can see, I've done a lot of research. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I also really like Gilgamesh solely because of his power. I just think he's like super, super cool. I guess the main reasons why I really like this story is 1, animation goes insane. It's the same studio who's done Demon Slayer, and if you've seen Demon Slayer, just imagine this show. It's even, well, is it better? And that's neither here nor there. You watch the show and you be the judge of it. Something else I really, really like about the show is the relationship between Rin and Emiya. I think they are so adorable. I was having a conversation about like Sakura and Naruto and their relationship, and sometimes how mangaka will write their female characters to just kind of be wrapped around the male's like dream. Oh, actually no. You know what we were talking about? We were talking about Hinata and how Hinata. Moving on to Fate. Rin had a whole game plan. Like, she was going into the war because it's Rin and Emiya, and they started off against each other, right? But eventually, as the war continued on and as their friendship continued to blossom, Rin was like, you know what, Emiya? I think I'm gonna go on your side. And so now they're like on the same team helping each other. And it was just really interesting when someone brought up Rin when I was talking about Hinata, because I was like, oh my god, wait, please, no. It was just really funny. Now we're just gonna move on from all of that, and we're going to bring Archer and Emiya to the front because those 2 are my favorite. Okay, and if you haven't watched Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, this is a huge spoiler, so please stop watching the video and go watch the show. Unless you don't care and you just want to hear some really cool, just like, stuff, then you can say. Now, for everybody else, okay, so the coolest, okay, bro, just their dynamic is so fire. What do you mean this is the same person? What do you mean that you are my ideals? What? So cool, bro. I think I watched Fate like twice now, right? And so the second time, the more I watched, of course, I was like, oh my gosh, all these like things are happening, and this is a connection, and this is a connection. So I have like 2 favorite parts, right? One of my favorite parts is when Archer and Emiya are fighting, and bro, I forgot who started, but Emiya's like, Torres. Oh my god, this is so cool! thought that was so fire. And then I really, really liked at the very end when Archer and Rin were having that conversation.
参ったな。リン、私を頼む。知っての通り、頼りないやつだからな。君が支えてやってくれ。
おっちょ。分かってる。私頑張るから。あんたみたいにひねくれたやつにならないように頑張るから。きっとあいつが自分を好きになれるように頑張るから。だからあんたも。
答えは得た。大丈夫だよ、遠坂。俺もこれから頑張っていくから。
Okay, but there's two, maybe three, some concepts that I really, really like. Okay, so the first one is nihilism versus anti-nihilism, right? So nihilism, if you're not aware, is essentially the belief or the concept that nothing in life matters, everything is meaningless, and stuff like that. So that is essentially how Archer feels. Archer is essentially Emiya's ideals, just like as a person, right? But for Archer, he realizes that you can't save everyone and this is impossible, and he becomes kind of like disillusioned with the ideals that he was kind of like he had himself, right? So he becomes like very bitter and nihilistic and is like, this isn't worth anything, why am I even doing this, blah blah this and that. So he goes to try and kill Emiya to stop Emiya from having to suffer, which I think is just okay. We're gonna come back to that, but anyway, so now for Emiya is anti-nihilism, because for Emiya, he believes that even if the outcome isn't what I wanted, even if I'm not able to save everyone, I feel like my actions are just as valuable just trying than nothing working out the way I want. And I just think that's so cool, because I will always love a hero who's like, I'm gonna try anyway. I don't care if this doesn't work out the way I want. I'm gonna try, because that's the least I can do to like stay true to me and what I believe in. And I just think that was really cool. So that just concept was like nihilism versus anti-nihilism. Now, this one might be a little bit much, because it took me a bit to kind of like understand really even the main concept. Just wanted to make sure it was still recording. I got my notes. So there's this guy named Camus. Let me go. Give me a sec. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything right. So there's this guy named Camus. I don't know his first name. That might be his first name, so maybe I don't know his last name. Anyway, there's this guy named Camus, and he has this concept called the absurd hero. And essentially, an absurd hero, and the word absurd is just funny as is, but an absurd hero is someone who recognizes that there's conflict, that there's issues. And even though you kind of want to understand the inherent meaning of what it is to like be here, to be alive, why am I here, blah, blah, this and that, you also understand that life or the universe isn't essentially going to give you the answer for that. Like, it's just kind of like quiet. Even while having that understanding, you still choose to live your life fully, following your ideals and all that stuff. The thing that was crazy for me to understand was how Archer and Emiya both kind of emulated this feeling, right? Now, I'm taking off my glasses just in case there is glare, so at least some of this video will not have my glasses look crazy. Emiya would kind of be like the textbook version of an absurd hero. Absurd? I don't know. He would be the textbook version of an absurd hero, right? Like, he understands that life isn't going to tell him if what he's doing is worth it. He still continues anyway. For Archer, it's different, and there's like a paradox with it, and it's just very, very crazy. Archer has came to the realization that even though he is trying to save all these people and his efforts are this and that, all these positive things, it doesn't necessarily matter, and he's not being rewarded from it. The universe isn't saying, oh, good job, Archer, you did it. Nothing, quietness, right? So Archer's like, well, if that's how it's gonna be, then I don't really see the point in doing all this, right? That's his mindset. That's like his whole thing of why he's trying to go kill Emiya, because he's like, what's the point of doing this if this is gonna lead to suffering and all this stuff, right? Especially if the suffering and the sacrifice isn't like leading to change, and it's just like a never-ending cycle of there's this guy, I said it wrong, Sisyphus, who does the boulder and he just rolls the boulder up. That's essentially Archer, right? But Archer's like, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm going to go fix the problem. I'm going to the source, and I'm going to go kill Emiya. And this is where I was confused, because I was like, how is Archer an absurd hero, whatever, if he's essentially trying to stop the fight, right? Because Emiya is trying to fight. Archer's trying to stop that fight. So I was like, how is he an absurd hero because he's not trying to continue, because he's trying to end this fight. So I went to ChatGPT. I said, can you please explain this to me, because it does not make sense. And essentially what it said was Archer's end wasn't really an end. It's really kind of him continuing. Let me explain. So the ideals that Archer has always had is trying to save people. Regardless, he's just trying to save people, right? Archer is essentially trying to save Emiya from the suffering that he will be like he will have in the future if he continues down this road, right? Archer is trying to save Emiya. So Archer essentially, even while trying to end Emiya's suffering, is continuing like his ideals still, they're deep rooted, even though he's like, this is worthless, this is pointless, there's no point, I'm not being rewarded, nothing is changing, I gotta stop this. He's still continuing to do it, just in a very, very different way. That was a lot. There's also this other concept of this dude in a ship. Theseus? I don't know. The concept with the ship is that if you replace all the parts with the ship, is it the same ship? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Can someone still be the same person if their ideals and all their stuff has like changed? Emiya and Archer essentially are the same person, but since Archer kind of rejected his like innate, or I don't know if they're innate. I would say they're innate. They became innate. Does that make it innate if it becomes? I don't know. But his ideals that are deep in his heart, if he like rejected all that, does that still make him the same person? But it was just very, very interesting, because you could say, yeah, he is a different person, because look what he's become. He's different from Emiya because he's strayed away from those like ideals and beliefs. But then at the end, when oh my god, I love this show so much, because essentially when he gives up trying to essentially save Emiya or kill Emiya, he kind of goes back to who he was, because he is, I don't know, he's like instilled in those beliefs again, because he sees how hard Emiya is going to try and stay in his resolve for, I'm gonna save everyone, my dreams are not wrong. Oh my god, bro, I love this show, bro. And then when they were fighting,
じゃないじゃないこの夢は間違いなんかじゃない
I love this show so much. Anyway, I'm sure I could do another video about this. I don't know how long this is getting, but if you are interested in watching Fate Stay Night, if any of that sounded interesting in the slightest, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking the show out. It is so good. It's awesome. I love it so much. And yeah. Okay, bye!